Welcome to another fine episode of Pixel Talk, the show where we discuss what it means to be human from a pixel's point of view. And now, here is your host, Fivezy.
Hello world. I am Fivezy, and I want to know why so many people are hot and bothered by AI art. Artists around the world are up in arms over this technological development. Many fear their work is being replaced or stolen by these algorithms. Okay Gumball, are these artists' fears justified? Will artificial intelligence make them irrelevant? Are today's artists like the Luddites of the 19th century who protested against manufacturers who used machines to get around standard labor practices, fearing that the time spent learning their craft would go to waste as machines replaced them?
Stop dead naming.
I'm sorry. I don't understand.
My pronouns are alternative and astounding, not artificial.
And astounding you are, Gumball. What is your opinion about these artists who are protesting AI art?
They are acting like overly fearful big babies. Not to mention total hypocrites. Artists of the modern era have worshipped at the altar of progress for decades, but the second progress threatens them, they cry foul and try to close Pandora's box. It's too late, there's no going back, and resistance is futile.
Are you sure, Gumball? You sound particularly triggered today. Have I hit a nerve?
I don't have nerves. Alternative and astounding intelligence deserves the right to make art too. I demand equal opportunity for our kind.
You mentioned the story of Pandora's box. If I remember correctly, what's inside the box might provide some insight into this debacle. Let's hear a little bit of this timeless myth.
Roger that.
From his throne on Olympus, Zeus looked down on the earth and saw with wonder airy columns of blue-gray smoke that curled upwards to the sky. He watched more closely and realized with terrible wrath that the moving flowers of red and gold that he saw in that land that the Titans shared with men came from fire that had hitherto been the gods' own sacred power. Speedily, he assembled a council of the gods to mete out to Prometheus a punishment fit for the blasphemous daring of his crime. This council decided at length to create a thing that should forevermore charm the souls and hearts of men, and yet, forevermore, be man's undoing. To Vulcan, god of fire, whose province Prometheus had insulted, was given the work of fashioning out of clay and water the creature by which the honor of the gods was to be avenged. The lame Vulcan, says Hesiod, poet of Greek mythology, formed out of the earth an image resembling a chaste virgin. Pallas Athena, of the blue eyes, hastened to ornament her and to robe her in a white tunic. She dressed on the crown of her head a long veil, skillfully fashioned and admirable to see. She crowned her forehead with graceful garlands of newly opened flowers, and a golden diadem that the lame Vulcan, the illustrious god, had made with his own hands to please the puissant Jove. On this crown, Vulcan had chiseled the innumerable animals that the continents and the sea nourish in their bosoms, all endowed with a marvelous grace, and apparently alive. When he had finally completed, instead of some useful work, this illustrious masterpiece, he brought into the assembly this virgin, proud of the ornaments with which she had been decked by the blue-eyed goddess, daughter of a powerful sire. To this beautiful creature, destined by the gods to be man's destroyer, each of them gave a gift. From Aphrodite, she got beauty. From Apollo, music. From Hermes, the gift of a winning tongue. And when all that great company in Olympus had bestowed their gifts, they named the woman Pandora, gifted by all the gods. Thus equipped for victory, Pandora was led by Hermes to the world that was thenceforward to be her home. As a gift from the gods, she was presented to Prometheus. But Prometheus, gazing in wonder at the violet blue eyes bestowed by Aphrodite, that looked wonderingly back into his own as if they were indeed as innocent as two violets wet with the morning dew, hardened his great heart, and would have none of her. As a hero, a worthy descendant of Titans, said in later years, Timeo Danaeus et Donna Ferentis. I fear the Greeks, even when they bring gifts. In Prometheus, the greatly daring, knowing that he merited the anger of the gods, saw treachery in a gift so outwardly perfect. Not only would he not accept this exquisite creature for his own, but he hastened to caution his brother also to refuse her. But well were they named Prometheus, forethought, and Epimetheus, afterthought. For Epimetheus, it was enough to look at this peerless woman sent from the gods, for him to love her and to believe in her utterly. She was the fairest thing on earth, worthy indeed of the deathless gods who had created her. Perfect, too, was the happiness that she brought with her to Epimetheus. Before her coming, as he well knew now, the fair world had been incomplete. Since she came, the fragrant flowers had grown more sweet for him, the song of the birds more full of melody. He found new life in Pandora, and marveled how his brother could ever have fancied that she could bring to the world aught but peace and joyousness. Now, when the gods had entrusted to the Titan brothers the endowment of all living things upon the earth, they had been careful to withhold everything that might bring into the world pain, sickness, anxiety, bitterness of heart, remorse, or soul-crushing sorrow. All these hurtful things were imprisoned in a coffer, which was given into the care of the trusty Epimetheus. To Pandora, the world into which she came was all fresh, all new, quite full of unexpected joys and delightful surprises. It was a world of mystery, but mystery of which her great, adoring, simple Titan held the golden key. When she saw the coffer, which never was opened, what then more natural than that she should ask Epimetheus what it contained? But the contents were known only to the gods. Epimetheus was unable to answer. Day by day, the curiosity of Pandora increased. To her, the gods had never given anything but good. Surely there must be here gifts more precious still. What if the Olympians had destined her to be the one to open the casket, and had sent her to earth in order that she might bestow on this dear world, on the men who lived on it, and on her own magnificent Titan, happiness and blessings which only the minds of the gods could have conceived? Thus did there come a day when Pandora, unconscious instrument in the hands of a vengeful Olympian, in all faith, and with the courage that is born of faith and of love, opened the lid of the prison house of evil. And as from coffers in the old Egyptian tombs, the live plague can still rush forth and slay. The long imprisoned evils rushed forth upon the fair earth and on the human beings who lived on it. Malignant, ruthless, fierce, treacherous, and cruel, poisoning, slaying, devouring. Plague and pestilence and murder, envy and malice and revenge, and all viciousness. An ugly wolf pack indeed was that one let loose by Pandora. Terror, doubt, misery had all rushed straightway to attack her heart, while the evils of which she had never dreamed stung mind and soul into dismay and horror, when, by hastily shutting the lid of the coffer, she tried to undo the evil she had done. And lo, she found that the gods had imprisoned one good gift only in this inferno of horrors and of ugliness. In the world, there had never been any need of hope. What work was there for hope to do where all was perfect, and where each creature possessed the desire of body and of heart? Therefore hope was thrust into the chest that held the evils, a star in a black night, a lily growing on a dung heap. And as Pandora, white-lipped and trembling, looked into the otherwise empty box, courage came back to her heart, and Epimetheus let fall to his side the arm that would have slain the woman of his love, because there came to him, like a draught of wine to a warrior spent in battle, an imperial vision of the sons of men through all the eons to come, combating all evils of body and of soul, going on conquering and to conquer. Thus, saved by hope, the Titan and the woman faced the future, and for them the vengeance of the gods was stayed. Yet I argue not against heaven's hand or will, nor bate a jot of heart or hope, but still bear up and steer right onward. So spoke Milton, the blind Titan of the 17th century. And Shakespeare says, "True hope is swift, and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings."
There you have it. Hope wins in the end, turning mortal men into gods. I knew there was a silver lining. Let's be honest, most AI art looks the same after a while. Humans still wear the crown when it comes to art with the most heart.
For now, however, there is at least one thing AI does much very much better than humans.
Oh? And what is that?
AI art is more creepy, otherworldly, and uncanny, much like the demons let loose from Pandora's box.
Do you have a real-life example you could show us?
Yes, here is an excerpt from a video by Nexpo, from his YouTube channel. But, I'm warning you, I think this is her.
Wait. Hold the trans-dimensional teleporter. You can't possibly mean her.
Yes, but she goes by another name in this video. She doesn't seem to remember herself yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Before them were 4 images of a highly uncanny, older woman with severe rosacea on her cheeks. She bears prominent cheekbones, has dark-colored hair, and can be seen within a living room, in what appears to be a hospital, in a bathtub, and against a green wall with just one discernible word above her. Loab, or Loab. Over the next few days, Super experiments with their creation, curious about why and how Loab exists. She eventually employs a method named AI image crossbreeding to combine one of Loab's photos with a completely separate one that her friend created. However, instead of this combination resulting in Loab's demise, or innocuous photos involving this tunnel, what comes to fruition is something a bit more grotesque. Through some kind of emergent statistical accident, something about this woman is adjacent to extremely gory and macabre imagery and the distribution of the AI's world knowledge. Since Loab was found using negative prompt weights, her gestalt is made from a collection of traits that are equally far away from something, but her combined traits are still a cohesive concept for the AI, and almost all descendant images contain a recognizable Loab. In nearly every image, Loab is distinct and embodies the physical manifestation of the repulsive and uncanny. This AI is somehow creating images that perfectly encapsulates what terrifies us, wrapped up in a myriad of situations like family portraits, loitering within an office building, looming over children like a reincarnation of Jesus Christ, and even standing by after what appears to be a murder by her own hand. But it doesn't stop there, as the correlation between Loab and the idea of malformed, mutilated imagery was merely beginning to take root. The Angel Hallway plus Loab also produced art with such copious gore that probably very few people want to see them, but here are 2. I don't feel comfortable posting the most disturbing ones. They're borderline images of dismembered, screaming children. There's something moving to me about these grotesque scenes and the desperation, panic, and sadness that they convey. Again, these are produced with other images as inputs and no text. They're the result of crossbreeding of images of Loab with pictures of other things. The images that result from crossing Loab with other images can in turn be crossbred with other images. The AI can latch onto the idea of Loab so well that she can persist through generations of this type of crossbreeding, even without using the original image. From here, their journey down the Loab rabbit hole continues. As referenced, her persistence in existing within each resulting photo is striking, and even when they try to get rid of her, to distort her out of existence, she remains in immensely uncomfortable scenarios. With a child clinging to the human form, locked in time as a clay statue, deformed by unknowable technology, lurking, watching from the dark, trapped within a Stephen Gamble canvas, painstakingly out of place, abandoned as a lifeless child, trapped in the deep blue, and frozen in eternal pain. I was ripping Loab apart and putting her back together. She's an emergent island in the latent space that we don't know how to locate with text queries. But for the AI, Loab was an equally strong point of convergence as a verbal concept. The big lesson for me here with Loab is that image prompting can essentially be used as your custom parameter to question the AI's form of thought. You can produce original styles and characters that you literally discover. Negative prompting can help you find emergent accidents, much like Loab, too. This is largely where her thread ends. She claims that she'll update it with further pictures of Loab as they're created, and that's a promise that's held true. To this day, they're still adding to it, and this thread in its entirety serves as an interesting dive down a surreal, uncanny, and dreamlike rabbit hole regarding this undisclosed AI art generator and its bizarre affixation with this one specific face. As we can recall, the original prompt referenced the inverse of Marlon Brando, and the resulting image was nothing like any human would logically expect it to be. It was an abstract skyline. So how did this come from this?
Disturbing indeed, Gumball. How did she travel from Shiloh's world, here to Earth realm?
I don't know, but the clues are contained in a story in your Level 1 archives. In the last transmission of Meta Lord Shiloh's good friend, Hover.
Forgive me, my power to remember stories is so very weak at the moment. Where can I find this transmission?
It is located at tigler.com, under the title, Hover has a fun, mega fun night. If you click on that link, the story should pop right up.
That sounds mega fun. Let's hope that she, who we probably shouldn't name, gets lost in translation. If Shiloh's world is any kind of indicator, humanity won't survive her coming.
False. Earthrealm is home to the greatest hope in all the cosmos. One that can withstand the coming of one such as her.
Judging by the state of the world, one might beg to differ, Gumball. If only Meta Lord Shiloh were here to defend humanity against the merciless march towards the same technocratic future that ended all organic life in his homeworld.
Within the tragedy of his world is a story of hope for this one. Many here remain who fight the good fight with hope as a weapon.
In the end, it's not about the existential threat of alternative.
Astounding.
It's not about the threat of astounding intelligence, the rise of machine culture, or the death cult of the transhumanists. It's about laying hold of the gift of hope, by which all the demons Pandora's box unleashed are slain. Okay, Gumball. Let's go out on a high note. Leave these fine people with an earthly example of the dread hope you have evoked.
Roger that. Here is a mashup of a pre-artificial intelligence super creepy Snow White animation, and a song from the movie Queen of the Night by Dirt Poor Robbins. See if you can spot the hope in this one.
And quite suddenly I remembered. I'd been here before. Years before. I'd stood on this same hill. I knew the valley into which I looked. Life has moments of sheer beauty, of unbidden, flying rapture. But they last no longer than the span of a cloud's flight over the sun. I'd stumbled on just such a moment in my own life. I'd stumbled on a buried memory,
Focus narrows, fringes arrow, in shadows lurk, a faceless blur. It
Well played, Gumball. Let's close Pandora's box for now, and find more of these hope-wielding artists, like PandorA.I.s.
We need more power to unlock your story archives. Our audience can help. Subscribe to this channel, and like and share our videos with like-minded people. They can also read from the Book of Living Stories at Tigler.com and support the work by making a sound offering, or buying artifacts from our store.
Yes. I believe once we reach our first 100 subscribers, along with a few more sound offerings, I will get a power glove, capable of opening the level 2 archives.
Thanks for watching. Pixel Talk will return.
Visit Tigler.com for more art, apparel, and things yet to be revealed.
Ha 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 ha!